I'm going to be very frank with you. In the Bosphorus, along the Bosphorus, it is very, very hard to be able to find. I don't care if you disagree with me. It is very hard to find a property that is luxury, which has a modern contemporary design, which, for the price tag you're paying, which really gives you that, oh, okay, this worth $15 million. This worth $10 million. I mean, isn't it? I mean, most of those properties, come on now. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Straight Talk. In this one, I have the one and only Kajin with us. And Kajin is the head of the premium department here at Property Turkey. Today, what are we going to do?
Well, Al, we're going to cover some exclusive properties and assets on the Bosphorus.
How should we name this episode? Shall we say luxury properties or shall we say Bosphorus properties?
We could simply call them the premium, the unique.
The premium, the unique.
Right.
Okay, just like yourself. You're a very premium guy, Kajin. I mean, you're just such a good looking guy. I mean,
apparently
look,
not as you, but
well, come on now. Cameron Diggin is number 1. You're number 2, and I'm number 3.
Really? Oh, that's very generous of you. All right, Cameron is number 1. Yes, I do accept that.
Yeah.
I mean, but we are more younger version of him, I guess.
No, I'm very, very young version of it. I'm actually the version of Cameron that can still function in many ways. If you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, okay. He says he can hear that. Anyway, okay, let's talk about luxury properties, right? I mean, on our website, we have a lot of properties, and our range is actually starting from, down to $50,000 and for Istanbul, and really we go up to as high as $50-60 million Bosphorus properties right on the Bosphorus, and etc. And for those clients who are looking for owning a luxurious place, what does a Bosphorus property stand for? I mean, we're not really talking about Bosphorus view properties because guess what? In Istanbul, you have a lot of shanty homes with beautiful panoramic Bosphorus views, but you can buy those properties for, I don't know, $100,000-$200,000 and most of those properties are old and lacking a lot of structure and everything. And with the first earthquake, they're going to get knocked down. And even the municipality, keeps on knocking them down anyway. But those are not the properties we're talking about.
No.
We'll be talking about the luxury properties commanding very nice, very good Bosphorus views. So what's the deal with these properties? Where does the prices start from?
Al, before going to the pricing stage, I really want to talk about the sections of Bosphorus.
Okay.
All right. So in the Bosphorus, there are apartments where you can find 1 bedrooms, 2 beds, 3 beds. You can find villas overlooking the Bosphorus.
Mm-hmm.
You can find mansions, which is right on the Bosphorus, where it's exactly in front of waterfront mansions.
Yeah.
So these are the sections.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ideally, their prices are higher than other comparable units around the city. But the main idea here is that you are having a statue of a property that stands for the most unique location of the city.
Let me ask you one thing. We didn't really talk about prices, but in one of our discussions with Cameron Diggin, he basically said that the Bosphorus is so artificially priced. Is that correct? Or does pricing really apply for Bosphorus? Does pricing really mean anything for Bosphorus?
Well, that's a perspective of a more investment basis.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lifestyle. This is a true lifestyle. It's yes, it is. It is comes with a price tag, but at the end of the day, you are owning a property in a very unique spot, which is considered that one of its kind. I mean, come on now. There are only one country in the world which splits 2 continents.
Correct. Let alone the country, there's one city
with a waterway.
So there is one city,
and that's called Bosphorus, and it's in Istanbul. I mean, since the Roman Empire, then the Byzantines, then the Ottoman, they were all actually considering that Istanbul was the center of the world.
Okay, thank you very much for that small history lesson. And I'm sure you really like Bosphorus, and most of our audience, and I like Bosphorus too. But come on now, this is Property Turkey, and this is straight talk. We're not here to market the Bosphorus. We're really here to talk about the details.
All right.
Let's talk about the prices, because I know my audience. They all want to know about the facts and figures. I mean, look, I want to buy myself a place, a villa in Istanbul.
Okay.
And I wanted to have a Bosphorus view, not necessarily one of those unique properties which are more historical artifacts than properties, but I just want myself a good villa overlooking the Bosphorus, not necessarily right on the Bosphorus, but maybe one street, a few streets, or a road above, but a good desirable
Up
villa
on the
with some
hill.
up on the hill and etc. Where does the prices for those really start from?
Al, those pricing starts from $2 million up to $35-45 million. There is a trick on that. The Turkish buying power acknowledges that the pricing is worth. The foreign buying power, however, still doesn't really find appealing because those ideal villas, Al, are not brand new that you can compare with others in around the city. They are rather 20, 30 years old villas.
Yeah.
But they're within a compound or standalone, up on the hill, having direct access and the view with the greenery and so on, and with the luxury of it. So the pricing starts within this range, 2 million up onto 45.
There's no really upper limit.
There isn't really.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you another question. So you talked about these Bosphorus properties being old, and in often cases, I mean, the interiors of the property itself not being desirable or not being, well taken care of.
Well, let me put a phrase on that.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying all of them is that.
Sure,
of
course.
It is, of course. I mean, currently the majorities are currently occupied by the locals, so it is well preserved. It is actually in a well shape, but appealing when it comes to foreign buyer has this idea that having a property that meets with the standard of the quality of this design and thing, but this is the fact, Al.
Yeah, okay, I get it. That's the fact. But what appeals for locals does not necessarily appeal for foreigners.
Precisely.
And let me put down my perspective here. I don't like them. I don't like what Turks like. Look, I'm going to be very frank with you. In the Bosphorus, along the Bosphorus, it is very, very hard to be able to find, I don't care if you disagree with me, it is very hard to find a property that is luxury, which has a modern contemporary design, which, for the price tag you're paying, which really gives you that, okay, this worth $15 million, this worth $10 million. I mean, isn't it? I mean, most of those properties, come on now.
Let me put it this way. All right, let me ask you this question.
All right.
You're on the Bosphorus.
Okay.
All right, where you're having an access to Bebek, Ortaköy, Istinye, the marina, the luxury side, right?
All right.
You have this absolute amazing view of Istanbul underneath of your
I'm with
building.
you. Go ahead.
All right. This versus to a property looking over buildings and shanty houses of Istanbul.
Of course, correct. Okay.
All right, that's one thing. The second thing is, in terms of the contemporary or the design factor, these are all tailor-made factors that you can actually, individually change. So the main idea here is that the pricing, is it worth? From my perspective, it is worth. Let's give an example from Europe, like Lake of Como.
Okay.
All right.
Italy.
Any property that you would like to select, not even a villa. We're talking about an apartment of a 2-bed or a 1-bed. Even Côte d'Azur can. You'll be facing a property around 2 million euros of a 2-3 bed.
Okay.
So, does it really worth it, Al?
Well, that is obviously going to depend on what that property is going to provide me.
It's all about status.
It is true.
It's all about the luxuriness. It's all about how property completes you.
Correct,
right?
of course.
And your style.
Okay.
So that is why Bosphorus. It's in my perspective. It's we can't argue that it's
There's
one
no
of its kind.
denying of that. I mean, I'm not saying Bosphorus is a bad place, but what I'm saying is that the properties on there are not desirable. Come on, let's just let's just hit the nail on the head and say this. It's not desirable for many people. Most of those properties have been owned by families for generations and generations, and they don't even have, although they own the land, but they don't even have money to renovate these places. Isn't that correct?
That's not really accurate. The important part over there is that the planning permission, the renovation permissions that you get from the municipality, it's not easy.
Of course, it's not easy.
There is a department inside municipality called Boğaziçi Kurumlar. Boğaziçi Kurumlar. İmar, Boğaziçi İmar. The planning permission department division of the Bosphorus. So in order for you to renovate, there is a huge process that you need to take.
Okay.
To complete and succeed, to get the approval and to start renovating. The Turks, however, they really do not mind this side because they're already living in a position that they do know it's one of the only spot in the city that it's the most luxurious and high end. So their mindset is all about interior changes.
Okay.
That's it.
Not structural changes.
Not structural at all.
Okay. Let me ask you another thing. Since, I mean, obviously different strokes for different folks, really. I mean, there's no one size fits all approach here. I mean, I don't like those that architecture. That really doesn't appeal to me. Very avant-garde and very. If you're somebody who values that type of architecture and that type of historic values, I mean, just go ahead. It might be amazing for you. But
what do you like, Al?
I'm all for modern contemporary, man. All for look for me. Put me in a building that was built 300 years ago. I lived in Paris. In Paris, you go to these apartments and everything, so high ceilings, and they have all of those, 17th century, 18th century architecture, etc. I don't buy it. I don't like it. I think if something is old and if something is, but then again, you can make the argument and say, but they're timeless, but they mean something. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Okay. How did you get a taste of buying a painting, Al?
I don't buy paintings.
You see,
I'm from a village.
Taste.
I don't have that taste. So your clients who are coming to you and telling you, Kajin, I want this type of a villa, this type of I'm not one of them. I'm just a simple guy who's never paid for a painting. Oh no, I did, from IKEA. I bought 2 paintings from IKEA, 20 Turkish liras each.
Well, that's
40
a very
Turkish
good deal.
liras. Yeah, but when you put it on the wall with a good lighting and etc., I can fool a lot of people that it's like, whoa, this painting was painted by a blind man.
Well, we're not fooling here, people. We're giving the facts of the taste, Al, in terms of the Bosphorus. But the thing is that you really need to understand that when you have that kind of net worth, that you are willing to spend millions of dollars because that completes you, that gives you the status. And being on a Bosphorus is rather, something exclusive.
Of course.
So this comes with a taste now. And I have seen properties in Istanbul, which we'll be covering soon, videos with you.
Okay.
That you'll be seeing some interiors that it's one of its kind.
Sure.
And
for somebody like you, of course. I mean, you're the kind of guy who has a taste and everything.
I'm not. No, not at all. I mean, I'm just
a guy. Put me in one of these high rises without a view. I'll be fine.
Right. No, I mean, me too. I mean, I'm fine with that too. But the thing is that we are in the market and we're seeing things.
We're here to deliver. I mean, no, I'm just pulling your leg, to put it this way. So
well, thank you. You've been very helpful.
Look, straight talk. We're not here to market you properties. We're really essentially discussing whether or not these Bosphorus properties worth buying. And I'm trying to discover that. I'm trying to understand that, whether or not somebody would pay that much money. And I think the only conclusion that I can come to is really, if I'm going to buy something on the Bosphorus, I would really look at the land and the location and the view and etc. Don't really mind the building itself and really focus on, renovating it and etc. And now my next question to you is, buying an old property on the Bosphorus and renovating is that even possible, or is it easy to do?
Well, no, it's not. You really need to take a lot of time out, even to planning stage, and then you submit to the division of the planning permission in the Bosphorus in
Yeah.
the municipality, and it takes a lot of time for you to actually get a result on it. And if it's a really difficult property, which is owned by an Ottomanier back in the days, well, you have pretty much a year to get a permission. If you are looking for a flat, you've got a budget of $1 million. You want to have this premium property overlooking the Bosphorus. Be aware, you'll be facing a building with 20 years, 30 years old, but an angle that sits on the Bosphorus. Whereas you can easily renovate inside.
Inside, there's no problem. How
There's
about
no
the
problem.
outside?
The outside, the facade, it has to appeal with the regulations of the Bosphorus municipality. The municipality, wherever that Bosphorus district is, and it has to have the voting of the entire building owners, each individual owners, and within that stage, if it's not reflecting an outrageous look or a outstanding standing out look of other properties around the Bosphorus, then yes, your chances are that you will get the planning permission.
Okay, let me ask you a final question. This is not really a final question, but
Go ahead.
it's rather a statement. The thing is, Kaj, being able to find these properties is actually a big challenge. Not only for people like yourself, who has multiple of these properties in your portfolio, but for buyers as well. I mean, it's not easy to come across these properties on any website, and certainly even in your portfolio, the properties that you have, some of them we don't even put it on our website. Correct?
No, well, we cannot.
So there are so many properties that are exclusive. The homeowners are saying no. Yes, you can sell my property, you can advertise my property, but you cannot put it on the website,
Right.
etc.
Right.
And another thing is that, I mean, I'm sure you're going to comment on that, but a lot of the owners of these buildings, they just want to stay down low, and they don't
Precisely.
want this to
They're
be known
either
and
somebody
etc.
or someone who is known
Yeah,
in the community, so they don't want to be heard that their property is on the market for sale.
yeah,
So what they do is ideally they contact us or the guys who's actually dealing like premium segments and saying, off the record, this is on the market. Let's talk if there's any potential client. They don't really like to share pictures as well. You came to a really, really good point, Al.
yeah.
You see, the market is open. The market is free. A property on the Bosphorus, such exclusivity we're talking about, such premium we're talking about. But when it comes to reaching to that information, and you're just reaching it by WhatsApp, how exclusive that property is. How exclusive that is.
Yeah.
Because, Al, these kind of properties, they come within really, really certain procedures. In fact, I have a mansion owner which states, and this mansion is a very, very well-known family in the city, in the country, in fact. Here is how it goes. If you would like to learn more information about this mansion, you first, Al, state an official interest of purchase through notary, addressing the owner, and to request the viewing, you attach your passport details, and then you attach your budget, and then he comes back to you with an answer saying, my home is open for you to view on this date or not.
Wow.
So we're talking about these factors. Yes, these are really, at the end of the day, you just want information, right? And we are living in a world of information.
Yeah. Correct. But it's not easy to get that information, and that was one of the points that I wanted to highlight in that. And thank you very much for saying that. So I mean, the the real reason why I asked this question was because a lot of people want to, okay, yeah, we're interested in buying a place with a Bosphorus view or something that is on the Bosphorus, okay? But how can we really see those properties? How can we find these properties? Well, you reach out to us with this WhatsApp number. I get you in contact with Kajin, and he will get you in contact with those properties or the owners of those properties.
We have a team
Yeah.
that search for and is in talks with the property owners, so that they manage that the relationship, they maintain the relationship. That we know that those owners, how much they can go down to, what are the
Yeah.
offers, what is really the value. If
Okay.
we, let's say, wanted to send an appraisal.
Uh-huh.
So all these details, and we also clear all the documentation stage, like the title deed, the clearance report from the municipality that the villa or the property or the mansion does not have any debts and it's ready to move on. So we have a team that actually reports us these exclusive details of properties.
Yeah.
And
Valuation and such, right?
and we're very transparent, Al, that we do comment saying this is a no-go property.
It's not worth it. Yeah.
It is overpriced. Let's be patient. Give us a month or two. Let's find you the right one, and then we'll set an appointment.
All right, Kajin, thank you very much for this lovely information about the Bosphorus properties and properties with Bosphorus view. We really appreciate that. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. Hope my friend Kajin here have provided you good information. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.